Because once you put all your chips into what you're trying to do, regardless of how it shakes out, you'll have peace with it because you'll have no regret.
JayVian Farr, now former cornerback for the Division II Augustana Vikings, had his eyes on the National Football League's 2025 draft. The NFL is a cutthroat business. It spares no feelings, and teams do what they believe gives them the best chances at winning. For some, the draft means a chance to achieve a dream they've had since childhood. For others, it may signify that they might have already played their last down on a football field. Farr knows this, and knows the journey ahead of him at the time of this conversation. Most importantly, Farr knows his journey won't be as easy as others entering the draft for a number of reasons. He's considered to be undersized in NFL terms. According to Joker Mag, the average cornerback in the NFL is nearly 6 feet tall at 5 feet 11.89 inches during the 2024 to 2025 season. Farr, on the other hand, measures in at 5'9". Although the contrast in height between the two figures isn't staggering to the common person, in a game dubbed the Game of Inches, 3 can make a world of a difference. Farr acknowledges this, but believes it's not enough to count him out just yet.
So for me, I have to make sure that while they see 5'9", when they see me in person, that they see how long I am, right? Like I got a 6'4" wingspan at 5'9", where I got longer limbs, and I play longer, and I play bigger. If you see me on film, I play bigger than 5'9", and I play physical, and I make sure that I'm trying to stay locked in on the keys of the game and really thinking the game, right? Like that was something that helped me a lot of times. Like I did a lot of film study in terms of making sure that I knew exactly what I was going to get in certain times of the game and what I wanted to do, so that some of those limitations that people might see, you don't really see it because of, my level of play. And for me, it's more so like, okay, while I am 5'9" and I am smaller, let's look at guys who have been my size, who have done well in the league, right? For me, the way I got on the field at Augie was through special teams, right? That's how I started out on special teams. I went down, flying down at gunner, making plays, and I'm like, man, JayVian can go down and tackle. He can really do this. And I started to get more reps at corner, and then that's how I started, became a 3-year starter at one point, and things like that, and just working my way. So if it was for me and I had to work through special teams or whatever, I'm willing to do whatever I can to get an opportunity. That's what I would do. As far as me being a 5'9" corner, it's interesting because, for me, I think personally, yes, will teams maybe be like, I don't know about having him on the outside? Probably. But could they put me on the inside as slot corner, nickel, a dime package player? Or if I, certain plays, certain games, I am on the outside? Absolutely. I could see myself doing it. And I know I can.
Farr believes he can do it. Sure, his height is a red flag to some, but he measures better in other areas that can help him have a big impact on the game. He says his wingspan is about 76 inches long. Since 2014, the average wingspan for defensive backs drafted to the NFL is 75.48 inches, below Farr's. Again, in the game of inches, that can be attractive to general managers, the people who typically have the most power in drafting players to a team. Farr says it's also encouraging to know that he wouldn't be the first person to do it at his height. In fact, there are some in his life who prove height isn't the end-all be-all to playing defensive back successfully at the professional level.
Javier Arenas, who is 5'9", 190, and played at Alabama. Yes, it's different than Augustana, but he played at Alabama for Coach Nick Saban. And I met him at the Alabama camp back in 2019, going to my senior year. He's been, ever since then, we've been locked in. I went down this summer and stayed with him and his family for a week and trained with him. And he's just like, man, Jay, you really got it, bro. And he played in the league for 6 to 7 years himself. And he always talks about how he sees himself within me. And that's always encouraging because we're around the same size and around the same speed and athleticism, things like that. And he's just like, the only difference is that, yes, I played at Alabama, so I had more eyes and more opportunities, but I think you can do it just like I did.
Like many in the draft, JayVian's only challenge isn't something physical. He's from a Division II school. It's not impossible to be on an NFL roster from D2, but it's certainly more of an uphill battle. According to the NCAA website, at the start of the 24-25 NFL season, only 46 former D2 players were on the active 53-man roster across all NFL teams.
A lot of people love underdog stories, right? and a lot of people gravitate towards them because it's so nice to see, right? One story that a lot of people like and resonate with is Quinn Miners, who is the starting guard for the Denver Broncos, who just had an All-Pro year, who played at the D3 school UW Whitewater, and truly just went down to the Reese Senior Bowl and dominated and got noticed, tremendously by scouts and execs and people that didn't get to see him on a daily basis because he played at Division 3, but they saw how good he was, right? And how this guy truly is just one of those cases where people found a diamond in the rough. And that's not to say I'm Quinn Miners or anything like that, but it's just more so like when you're from a smaller school, a D2, a D3, sometimes even smaller FCS school or what have you, because you're not fortunate enough or blessed enough to be in the spotlight all the time, which is a hard thing to it in its own self. Not that I don't have the skills or the ability to play at the next level. It's just more so, okay, because I haven't had these eyes, my pro day is going to be very beneficial and monumental for me, as well as making sure that my film is getting out to these scouts and execs who haven't seen it, right? To the different scouts that came to Augie so far who've seen it, who haven't. Like, it's a bit different.
As a small school NFL hopeful, Farr says it's a different experience than players who enter with a national audience watching every single game. But he likes the challenge.
I just have to make sure that I'm doing the best at marketing myself and that my agent's doing the same and that I'm crossing all my T's and dotting all my I's, but making sure at my pro day I perform at a way and a level that shows them like, hey man, this guy right here might be a guy that you take a chance on because he's somebody that's been undervalued, under recruited, and could truly do some things that people might not even notice or see, right? So just making sure that I'm honing in on that and not being embarrassed by being a Division 2 school and not being embarrassed by, my height or limiting myself because of those things, right? You have to truly be able to embrace who you are, what you are, and where you come from.
Farr believes in who he is. In his Instagram post announcing he's entering the draft, 3 words stand out among the rest. Why not me? He says he pulled on some past NBA legends and some peers with similar aspirations to write up the mantra.
That Derrick Rose, like, why can't I be the MVP of the league? I don't see why not me. Like, that's a highlight I watched all the time as a kid growing up. And that is something that, like, even him and then, like, Russell Westbrook's why not me? Like, that's always been something that I really, like, gravitate towards. But honestly, the reason I put that, while I could say I probably drew inspiration from those implicitly, the thing that really, made me do it was that when I was looking at different guys' posts from different places and things like that, they talked about the schools that they came from and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm proud to come from Augustana, right? I have no knock or shame in it. And it's like, you know what? Why not me? Why not JayVian Farr? Why not me? Because I'm a guy that, truly try my best to be my best on and off the field each and every day. And I know I've, left a positive impact on, 98% of the people I've met in my life. And I've been thankful and grateful and blessed with gifts from God to do certain things. So why not me? Why not take a chance on a guy from a smaller Division 2 school? Why not take a chance on somebody who is willing to do anything to help the team win? Why not take a guy who's willing to sacrifice everything to, succeed and help others win, right? Like, why not me?
He adds he truly draws on his faith in God to not worry about what the outcome may be. Farr says he's found comfort in a lesson taught to him by the team chaplain Jeff Wheeler, a pastor from Central Church in Sioux Falls.
Peter getting out the boat and just trusting the Lord and, keeping your eyes set on him and not worrying about the wind and just knowing that God has a plan and purpose for your life. And I was like, you know what? That's real. I'm going to get out the boat and I'm going to trust him with everything. And regardless of how it shakes out, I know I'm going to be blessed to be a blessing and that it's going to work out for his good.
Farr knows it's an uphill battle. He knows he's undersized. He knows he didn't go to Alabama or Ohio State. He knows what's ahead and the grind needed to get to the league. Though even more important to him than those is knowing if he doesn't make it to the NFL, if he doesn't get a phone call from an NFL team, if he doesn't get the chance to compete at the highest level, he knows that doesn't make him a failure.
What if this don't work out? What if I don't make it? What if this doesn't happen? What if I spent money on pro day training and I don't get a return on my investment? I don't get an ROI on this, right? In terms of, making it to the NFL or the CFL or the UFL. What does that look like for me, right? And that's when I began to realize, like, one of my friends told me, his name is Miles Guyton, and one of my other friends, JJ Rankins, both of them, they were like, bro, you have to realize that you've already won, man. Like, you've already won. You've already gotten your undergraduate degree in biology on a pre-med track. You're still in your master's program and going to graduate with your master's in May. You're still going to be able to do those things. You've been doing great things on campus. You've been doing great things in community. You have so much ahead of you. So what if you don't make it? They were just trying to assure me that, hey, man, like, it's going to be okay. At the end of the day, you won. Like, especially coming from where I'm from. I'm from Racine, Wisconsin, where a lot of black men don't make it out of there to go to college and finish college and do it in the way that I did. And for me, I'll be able to have 2 degrees by the time I'm 23.
In spite of the encouragement from his friends, Farr is locked in. He says he's not even thinking about a future where he doesn't make it. All he can think about and focus on is getting a chance to achieve his dreams. Right now, he has his eyes set on proving doubters wrong. He's grinding daily for a chance to achieve what many will never even have the chance to do. He's got his eyes firmly set on the draft. He's got his eyes firmly set on the NFL. After the draft, JayVian Farr did not get drafted. Though in the 2025 NFL Draft, not a single Division II, Division III, or NAIA player was drafted to the National Football League. He did, however, go on to get an invitation to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie minicamp. He accepted that invitation. So did Augustana safety Peyton Buckley. He accepted an invitation to rookie minicamp from the Washington Commanders. Augustana running back Jared Epperson accepted an invitation to rookie minicamp from the Kansas City Chiefs.